Creative ComeUp is brought to you by Jones Management. Follow us on Instagram at Managed by Jones and tune in to new episodes of Creative ComeUp every Tuesday, wherever podcasts are listened to.
What's up, everybody? I want to first give a shout out to Lyles Construction Group. This is actually the home that we're in to shoot this episode. I always love to be able to be in dope spaces to be able to have these conversations. Today, I'm speaking with a brother, a 219 representative. I'm super excited for this conversation because this is actually a guy that I've been wanting to have a conversation without a camera anyway. So I'm geeked about it. I'm excited about it. So I got my bro, Mike Gillis. You guys might know him as Where's Mike G? The diet start tomorrow, whatever it may be. Like, bro, I'm super excited to talk to you. And as you guys know, with this podcast, we focus on just like the creative process that different individuals have taken to be able to get to the position that they're at today. Not to say that the position that they're at today is the final destination, right, but it's just to show you guys how we use creativity to get to the success and the lifestyle that we want to live. So I want to start off this conversation because we both are from the 219. I, started in Gary, went to East Chicago. I know you have some roots in East Chicago and then was in Maryville. Right. But I want to know a little bit about, first, the process. Coming from the 219, moving to Indy, and then creating this hub and this home and just these roots that you have grown in Indianapolis. What was that transition?
Yeah, definitely. First of all, thanks for having me on here. I definitely appreciate it. But that process was, me wanting to go to a city for college opposed to going to a college town. I knew definitely coming to Indianapolis would be much different than going to a West Lafayette, Terre Haute, Bloomington, just because I could, root and finding, some of those business partners that I, work with now at a younger age while I was in college. So the mindset was to, like I say, go to a city, it's the only city in the state. Yeah. I couldn't afford to go, no out-of-state tuition going anywhere. But being from East Chicago, going to Maryville, it definitely showed me a wide range of people, like at a younger age of my life. And then coming into, Indianapolis, where it is a mid-major city, yeah, it just allowed me to go to college with an open mind opposed to having any pre-misconceptions of anybody or anything.
So when you got to college, what was the was the marketing always something that you wanted to do, or was it originally a different plan?
It was always the plan. My plan was I wanted to be an entrepreneur, but I knew I wanted to major in business. And out of all the business majors and degrees at IUPUI, marketing suited me best. So it just made the most sense. And then from there, it kind of spiraled into me learning more and me being like, yeah, I definitely made the right decision. Yeah. Now, post-college, making the right decision was a different thing. But, we here now, so definitely. It all works out.
There's always some detours in the road somewhere. Because, I know one thing that I always respected and admired from you was, and it's not just you, it was certain different people in the 219 that was able to embody culture, right? Really good, like really, really good. Where just because coming from a city like us, it's small, people don't really understand the advanced mindset of the major cities that surround us. But we did have the privilege of being so close to Chicago. Exactly. Because even with the different things that I did with the concerts and the festivals and different things of that nature, I always tell people that inspiration came from Chicago. Yeah, it came from my homies 100%. That I would go over to Chicago and see what they're doing. And I always had the mindset is why can't I do that where I'm at, so nice. I wanted to bring it to where I was and everything in East Chicago, and that's the reason why we threw the festivals and the concerts. And I always felt like you were able to do that for even Indianapolis. You was able to bring Indianapolis this taste and this flavor that they've never seen before, and I think that was the reason why they gravitated to you so quickly. But before we jump the gun too much, I want to know. So I know you were in corporate life for a little bit. How did it come from corporate life to say like, no, I'm just finna do this on my own? Like, and where did the food aspect of this like came from?
Yeah, so it was a whole process. I mean, I had corporate internships, I had a couple corporate jobs, but the food came from me being on campus, me being like you were talking about other creators and stuff where we're from in the city and who we respect, but being my roommate, my brother Rod Carpenter.
Come on now, Juice.
You know, exactly. Being with him, you know, I won't say I'm a introverted person, but I'm not as extroverted as him.
No, yeah.
So being on campus,
eat.
being around, and knowing a lot of people, it just made me get to the point where it's like, you know, if I need to get some work done in school, I probably need to go to a coffee shop or something off campus. You know, where I could walk to, not too far, but I can't be on campus because I go to the library, I end up a detour, end up doing something else. So I just knew too many people. So going to different coffee shops, trying stuff out, and then start trying restaurants, and then just posting about it. Because, you know, like you said, where we from, ain't nobody doing anything like that. To go to a coffee shop and post it, people like, what you on? You know what I'm saying? And then just continuously doing that. But the transition from corporate America to what I'm doing now was just one. I mean, I was going into interviews, even at that point, telling people, you know, they'll ask you, like, what's your plan in 5 years? I'm like, well, ultimately be an entrepreneur. You know? And it's the dumbest thing to say when you're in the interview because they want you locked in. But in my mind, like, I'm being honest, and that's what I want to do. I ain't going to lie to you.
Respect that, cool.
But I do appreciate everything I learned, the tools, how to deal with people, how to work with people, processes, systems, learning how to do different things. But while I was in corporate America, still what I did was I did what I was doing now. So I would work a 9 to 5, and then I would still go and review restaurants. I would still go and try to make partnerships to where I can manage people's social media.
No, yeah, definitely.
So everything I'm doing now, I was doing, but it was like an extracurricular activity. But I felt like that was my main thing. Like that's what I wanted to do. So when I made that leap of faith and got out of the corporate world, quit my job, I already had clients lined up to where it's like, I know I'm gonna be all right because I was already doing it. Now I could just put 100% of energy into what I need to do, opposed to not being able to put 100% in because I had 40 hours a week for show that was already taken away by somebody else.
No, without a doubt. And so that, because that segue when it comes to actually going into it full-fledged, was the one aspect as far as the food, was that the big, so like for example, first episode of this was with my brother Charity, and Charity is a music artist by heart and just by trade, just everything. He's just cold with it, but he just stumbled upon just saying like, hey, I'm going to research this and I'm gonna talk about it, and he did these educational videos. Bad Boys Take Off, and that became like his bread and butter, where it's like he's getting paid off of the educational videos, even though that's not what, that really wasn't like his main focus
or goal.
Yeah, or goal. It was just like, I'm just gonna see what this do. So was the food something for you that just became like this thing that just happened, or was that very intentional? Because I also know that you're a clothing designer, so I know that is something that's really dear to your heart, because I can tell that the clothes is really the passion, you know. And not to say the food is not the passion either, but the clothes is probably like where it's like, hey, this is like what I always really want to do. And like this food thing, was that like intentional, or was that something that just kind of happened?
It was intentional, but and I mean, even with my social media now, I would say it might be a little bit of a misconception to think that I get paid primarily from food blogging and stuff like that, because just like he was doing with the educational videos, with me, what I seen was an opportunity in the market to where I might go work with a restaurant and look at their social media and be like, me working with you one time is not going to do what you need to do. So this is my opportunity to come in, teach you, show your staff, and then now I can manage your social media account. So where my bread and butter or my cash cow with my business is really working in the digital marketing space with these small business, with any business, but especially with small businesses and restaurants, because I know how food needs to look. I know what pictures need to be taken. I know who we're targeting, so I can go in and we can do that. On the other end of it, I'm still eating. I can still get a check from blogging. So I got 3 sources of income. So I do digital marketing, I do the blogging, and I also have the clothing brand. So it's all those 3 things combined. But my cash cow is, helping these businesses grow their social media, grow their database of customers who they can work with. I mean, not work with, but serve food to, or sell clothes to, or whatever.
No, which is, I think, is the dope thing about it, because it gives us as creatives the opportunity to be able to utilize the knowledge that we do have, but at the same time, not constrain ourselves to just saying, oh, I'm working for solely this person, or I'm working, because I get those, opportunities, and I get those things where people like, hey, I really just want you to work with me, or I just really want you. And I get exclusivity. Everybody just want to be like, when they got something good, it's like, I just want this to
hold on
it.
to it, right?
But at the same time, I think it's very important for us to be able to recognize that we have something and that we can be able to teach other people. Because I tell people all the time, I can come in, I can do my thing, and I'm willing to teach anybody anything because I'm confident in myself. I understand that I'm going to come with a certain type of quality, a certain type of, style, everything.
Not worry about nobody stealing your job.
And it's hard to duplicate it because it comes with, like, it's in me. So I never have that problem with doing that. And I always tell companies and brands that I'm working with that, hey, I'm going to come in. If you want me for 3 months, I'm gonna come in for 3 months, do my thing, and it's up to you if you want to move on, if you want to whatever, and we can do these contractual, business. And a lot of times people will look at me and be like, bro, that ain't the way for it, because you need to get as long term as possible. I'm like, no, bro, your work will speak for itself. And that's one thing that I always would say, even for you, is the work always spoke for itself, because I'm like, I don't care how good he made that picture look. I can get there and it'd be like, it still be good. But I say, I be going back and I'm like, this ain't what he had. Like, give me this. Like, but, and I think that's the gift. That's the thing, is to be able to see that and be able to recreate that to make it happen. I do it a lot, even with like videos. I always tell clients, you can throw me some cell phone footage. I'm going to make it pop. I'm going to make it, I'm going to do my thing with it, because I can understand the same reasoning of understanding of, I know how it needs to look, and I know how it, it's able to, be able to catch those consumers' eyes for them to be like, man, I want to rock with that, and understand the process of it as well. But with it being the 3 sources of income that you have now, with the clothing, the digital, and then the blogging, what would you say? I want to talk a little bit about the clothing. With the clothing, do you take different approaches when it comes to like your marketing tactics with the individual things? How I'm going to help this company with their branding, how I'm going to do my blogging, and then how I'm going to do my clothing. Like, is it all 3 different things, or do you try to stay pretty consistent as far as the way that you try to market those different things?
Yeah, honestly, with me, with everything I do in regards to marketing, it's always, understanding what's needed, understanding what's the goal, and then creating a plan based on that. So I try not to do anything. Well, I won't say anything the same way, because if it works and that process and that system works, we go that way. But especially with the clothing brand and WDRFA, what we do, everything is different. We probably release, 4 to 6 to maybe 8 times a year. But every time we do something, it's a little bit different, because we understand that the world changes, the digital space changes, the internet changes, and we need to reach who we need to reach every time that we're releasing something. So everything I do is customized to who I'm working with, or what the goals are.
No, definitely.
From clothing to food, it could be a brand or a business that I'm working with, and their goal could be they want followers. Somebody else's goal could be they want likes. Somebody else's goal could be,
it's all different.
They want to collect emails. So it just truly depends on what those people want, what those people need, and how we can help the business grow. Because what I can respect about the clothing that you target with, which I think is something. In the one like common denominator that I can say with everything that you do with, and I can't speak so much on the client work, because of course that's the client work, and you're just kind of doing that under their umbrella. But as far as when it comes to the food blogging and the clothing, you have a brand on both of them.
where it's like, okay, we don't run here.
Yep.
And then we got, all right, food blogging as far as, if it's the diet starts tomorrow or, where's Mike G, what I can respect is it always stays on brand. It never flows like off a brand or, we doing this, so I'm just doing this because it's trendy right now. You work very hard as far as staying true to the reason why you started the reason why you started.
You noticed that.
Yeah, because that's something that when I peep it, no matter what may be going on in the world, I like where you can stay up to date, but I'm still doing what I'm doing. I'm going to follow the trends. I'm going to follow the different things that's happening in fashion, the different things that's even happening in food, but I'm going to follow it under the same umbrella that I created from the beginning of it. And I think that is something important for a lot of people that's interested in getting into business and getting into branding and marketing and things of that nature, because I feel like a lot of people at times, they can get all over the place with their brand.
Yeah.
And it's like, every time I look up, it seems like it's something totally different. But if you stay uniform, you can still get the response. You can still get the people. It just
may take a little longer. I mean, I tell people all the time, I got a good friend who, turned down tens of thousands of dollars in the summer shooting weddings because he wanted to make sure that he shot what he felt was the stuff that he wanted to shoot.
Yeah.
And now he's working with brands that he aspired to shoot for. But in that moment, it's not
you
too many
take
people
that L.
who gonna turn down, $30,000 worth of weddings.
No,
but at the same time, he saw the light at the end of the tunnel. And that's one of the things I hate about Indianapolis, because you got a lot of people here as creatives, videographers, photographers who will do anything for the check. So they gonna shoot a wedding, then they gonna go shoot a clothing brand, and they gonna go shoot product pictures in the club. And it's like, well, that's cool, you could get a check, but at the same time, that's like, you won't be great at any of them.
No.
And somebody else could come in and wipe you away. Somebody could come and have a better price and do the same thing you do because you don't do any one thing great.
Yeah, and that's the one thing that I even, starting the business last year, that's been one thing that I've been trying my best to stay as focused on as possible, because I feel like once you understand, man, this is what we do good, let's just stick to this, because it gets real tempting when somebody is knocking on your door and it's like, hey, I give you this if you can do this, and it's just like, because it's funny, it is so crazy. And this last maybe month or two, bro, I've been asked to DJ probably at least 10 times since the year started. And of course, a piece of me, that's like, should I go and get this bag now just real quick? I just go ahead and do, but that's not me no more. That's it. And I'm already, because the thing that I've always told people, once I create this brand for myself to say, all right, this is what I'm doing. That's what I want to do. I don't want to be looked at as like this guy, like, man, just a second ago he was over here doing this, now he over here doing this. Not and again, this is no diss to anybody that just, is good at a lot of things and they wear a lot of hats and they do their thing. It's no diss to it, but I think that it's important for certain individuals to be able to understand, to say, okay, this is what I'm desiring to do. Like, I can go, not to say I don't like the DJ. It was cool. I did it for a long time. But that's not even what my passion is. I would literally be only going to DJ just to get the bag. It won't be nothing, I won't be benefiting from that. I'm not trying to brand that. I'm not finna go and get no business cards that say DJ Mal on it. Nothing.
Cool.
That's the reason why I changed all my social media away from DJ Mal, because I didn't want to be looked at that as that anymore, because I knew where I wanted to go. So I think it's so important for people to understand that you're saying, hey, find what you want to get into and don't always just chase the bag. Chase passion. Chase what you want to do, because I think that's super key. And that's one thing that I've always been able to respect from you, because of course, I'm not going to check and see what's the follower count and all this other stuff. But I know that it was a process for you to get to where you at now, and that just came through consistency. And that's actually one of the next things that I want to talk about is kind of that process that you had, because I want to say, before you started doing food, anything, how many followers you had? And this is just college Mike going to the cafe.
Yeah, 2000.
And so what would you attest to the growth as far as just how the followers came and just what was that come up for you? Like how do you think that you finesse your way to that point?
Yeah, I've been asked this question recently, but I honestly think it's been, and it's a word that I've been saying a lot lately, it's just really being a resource. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, I literally hear conversations when I'm around people where it's like, nah, follow Mike. He gonna let you know the food at, or you could you know, because it's really me truly having these interactions with people where it's like, nah, where you want to go have a date night, or where you want to go do this, or what should I do? Or I'm in Nap, what should I do?
Bro, every time I'm in Nap, I go to your page instantly. Exactly. Where we eating at?
It's that. And then it's just, you know, having like, it's real people on my page to where it's like, I really know people in Northwest Indiana, East Chicago, Gary, Maryville, Crown, everywhere. And then I really know people in Indianapolis. I really went to college where it's, you know, thousands of people.
Exactly,
so that, and then, you know, honestly, like, I appreciate a lot of people for even putting it out there, because I go and check some of my posts and look at everything, and it's a lot of people sharing my work too. Where people go to my page and they feel a need, or I won't say need, but they go to my page and they like, well, it'll be cool if I follow him, because then I can know about some stuff.
No, definitely. No, and I think that's key, because, and I love what you said about being a resource. One of the things that, in actually a video, I don't even think this video came out yet, but one of the videos that I'm actually getting ready to release, it talks about the 5 different types of content. And one of those types of content is being informative content, where you're letting somebody, you're teaching somebody about something, where it's like, hey, you can, you know, do this, or you can do that, or whatever. To me, that content is so important because of that point of being a resource.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to follow you. So if people are interested in marketing and branding and want to just know more about that, hey, I'm going to follow Malcolm, or I'm going to follow Managed by Jones, because they be giving tips, they be giving little things. Yep. I think it's so important that people diminish the importance of being a resource. Right. Because I think that's where, you know, of course, people are going to follow you because they either rock with what you're doing, or you just met them, or whatever.
Yeah, you're going to always get that.
But I think to continue to grow it comes from being that resource that people can be able to reference. So in the midst of conversation, people can be able to say, hey, you know, man, I've been really trying to get my business out there more. Oh, you should follow Boom. Hey, we finna go to that. Oh, you should follow, Mike G. Yeah, he will be able to find out different restaurants and different things that's going on. So now that follower, you got people that's talking about you when you sleeping, when you chilling.
Right.
And that's when that follower count is going up. So I really like that as far as just like being a resource, because I think that's something that not too many people really understand or grasp that concept of the importance of that. And when it comes to becoming that resource, you became this resource now for brands. And now brands are connecting, where I know that you get a lot of restaurants here in Indianapolis that I'm sure is hitting you up like, hey, can you come and cover our food? And I see now, you know, you've been getting the hotel stays and different things of that nature. What has that process been like, being able to now get those phone calls, get those emails, get those inboxes? Like, one fun question, what was the first brand that was like, hey, what's up? We want to do something with you.
First, I can't even remember, honestly. But I will say that the process has changed a lot, because even within the pandemic, but before it used to be a lot more media night events, a lot more things to where, you know, they bring people together and you can pop out, you can cover different stuff, and nothing is really required. But moving forward through time, they just get to the point where, you know, a restaurant might hit you up and they say, well, we want a static post, and then we want, you know, to have X amount of stories. We want you to do this or do that. And here it's a little bit harder, because some restaurants feel like they have that bag and they trust you and they think that you can really help. And then other restaurants are like a little non-receptive to the things that you have going on, whether it be me being black, or me being a male, or, you know, the food thing or whatever. But here it's a little bit tougher, because most of the influencers, or, you know, people who have a little bit of clout here, are women, one, and then they white women too. Oh, wow. So it makes it a little bit different, to where a lot of them might have husbands who have really good jobs.
Yeah.
Or this is they secondary thing
this
where
is a hobby.
they gonna go and cover any restaurant for free.
No, yeah.
And you know, I had my time where I did that, but now it's like I know what you're gonna get out of this. And as long as your product or service is good, you're gonna get residuals. I'm only get this one-time payment. So I need this one-time payment just so I can sleep at night. Because if I go and make you $20,000, I'll never know.
That's one of the
You know what I'm saying?
craziest feelings. And that was one of the key reasons that I had to start taking me as what I'm offering more serious.
Yeah.
Because I'm literally looking at the results of what I'm doing. You know, for example, when I was at the casino and I started at the casino at this point really didn't have no movement when it came to like events, nothing. Like they probably had like one event here and there, like no real movement. So I came in and I just hit the pavement running because that was always something I had a strong passion for. And I still do. I'm like, man, I just want to go out there. So I never forget the first 2 weeks of me working that job, bro. I sat in my office for hours, literally just calling every company. Hey, what's up? I just want to let you know, man, we got a banquet facility here. So if you guys ever need anything, we're here. Don't worry, da-da-da. And was doing this, bro, going crazy. And I really wasn't getting much response. Everybody, because at the time, Majestic just wasn't looked at as like this place to be. It was just kind of like, nah, I'm straight on it. And I was just hustling, going out there, promoting it, putting it on social media, saying like, hey, putting pictures up. Every time I did an event, put the pictures up, really promoting the mess out of it. Bro, before I know it, within a year, first year that I was there, I think we did like maybe 50 events. Second year, we did about 120 events. Third year, we close to like 175 events, going crazy. And I had that moment where I sat back. And of course, it was my job. I was getting paid to do it.
Yeah.
But when I sat back and I'm looking at what I'm bringing to the table, I'm like, bro, like I'm really in
That's
here.
based on your passion, your effort, your consistency. And that's one of my favorite words too, is just consistency, because a lot of people will start anything, but they won't keep it up because the consistency is what takes it to get to that point. So like I say, when I was working a 9 to 5 and doing everything, I ain't never get home before 10 o'clock.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And I still don't, but I'm cool now because right now, I'm doing everything that I want to do.
Exactly.
But before it was like I had to fit that within, after I got off at 4:30
these
or 5
hours,
o'clock, I had to fit it in. So now it's the same grind. It's just all shit I love to do. So I go to sleep at night cool. I ain't been angry in a long time. Like real life pissed off, mad. Like I'm cool, you know what I'm saying?
No,
because
exactly.
I'm doing every day I'm doing something that I truly want to do. Which to me, like you can't, like it's irreplaceable.
No, without a doubt.
But I do understand, being uncomfortable and not willing to take that risk. But again, it comes from that consistency and that passion.
Yeah, because
a lot of people will do it and say, you know what? He making a whole bunch of money food blogging. I'm finna start posting food too.
Bro.
Like I even had family members reach out where it's like, well, when do I start getting the money? I said, well, it's gonna take you a little while, like, because that wasn't my mindset at first. My mindset was, I just really want to show people. I'm going to these places and I'm like, this stuff is cool. You know what I'm saying? It's cool to go to this coffee shop. It's cool to go to this restaurant, get breakfast or get brunch or whatever in the city, and it's cool. But at the same time, I'm comfortable with myself. I wish it was more people that look like me in all of these establishments.
No, without a doubt.
So
and
that's why I was
doing
really
the profession that we're doing.
No, pull up, it's dope. And it spiraled into something opposed to me going into it where it's like, I'm finna post food and I'm gonna make some money off of it. Like that was never the goal.
No, yeah. And
but
I think that's
the
key. That's the key, is like having that passion. Like, and I think that was the biggest thing that was driving, because when you have the passion and you're putting that passion into you, and and nothing against putting the passion into a company. I was actually okay with it. I was really okay with it. But I got to a point when I was looking at all of the passion, all of the resources, everything. Like I pumped my all into it. So when I was looking at that and I sat back and I'm just like, man, I'm looking at the bag that I'm creating for them. And I'm looking at the bag that I'm bringing into my house, but I also was doing the same thing. I would go work that, and I would do my side things. Yeah. And I'm looking at the way that I'm just doing the things that I'm really passionate about, because it's all about me. And that's what created the separation for me, to be able to understand my worth as far as what I do, to say, if I'm going to do this, and I have the passion to do this, why not go ahead and take that leap of faith and just do it and just make it me? And, it's days.
No, it take a lot. It honestly take a lot to do that, because, like I said, even though I had clients and everything like it was, it's still like, all right, I got this car note, or I got to pay rent, or I got to do whatever, and I still want to have my fun or do the things that I want to do. So it ain't to say that, the 27th ain't gonna come in and you still like, I don't know how rent gonna get paid.
Exactly.
But it have been miracles on the 30th. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, cool, like I'm good now. But I ain't know who I was gonna call, but then it came through, you know what I'm saying? But after that, it's still, proper planning and putting things in place. But I feel like when you really believe in something, or you truly are passionate about it, you're going to find a way. And that's not to say that everybody who truly passionate is going to find a way. Like, it ain't going to always happen.
Yeah, for everybody.
But at the same time, when you feel it in your heart, like, whatever feeling that is, because I know you feel it because you did it just like me. It's like, that feeling is just like, I'm done. Like, I can't walk in there no more. Like, I'm done.
No, exactly.
And now I got to do this. So whatever I got to do to make this happen and sustain the lifestyle that I'm living, it got to happen. And that's just the point I was at as well, because it was just like, I ain't walking in that building no more. I'm cool.
It's certain people, and it's something in certain people. And that once, we put our mind and put our energy into something, I always tell people, it's not to say that it's going to always work, but I'm going to put it to a position where I'm just going to make this thing work the best way that it can. Yeah. And then I'm able to live with the results, because I'm happy. Like, bro, when we did the festival in EC, we did the festival in EC, I tell people this all the time. I got fought tooth and nail doing that festival. Like crazy, bro. Everybody and their mama just coming at me. At Tower Park, just coming at from police to politicians. Nobody wanted to see it happen. Because, of course, again, we go back to that culture thing that we was talking about. We live in an area that don't understand culture, that don't understand that they doing this all over the world with no problem. Like, they not worried about people dying and people. That's why it's so shocking to me when people come to me like, how you bringing these?
I'm trying to provide an outlet.
Yeah, like I'm trying to provide something for the young and the millennials and the young adults and everything to be able. The reason why they're killing is because they ain't got nothing to do. You're not putting nothing here for them that keeps their attention. So of course I'm gonna just let it drip to anything. But I got fought so hard on that, but it was the passion to really, bro, everything in me just wanted to see it happen. Yeah. And without a doubt, and a lot of people probably don't even know this, without a doubt, it wasn't financially successful for us.
But that's what people don't understand a lot of times. Where it's like they always looking at the people, or they looking at everything.
Oh, they're like, it was cracking.
They feel like they could count your pockets. Well, it's like, nah, it was X amount of people that they charged, X amount for tickets, and boom, boom, boom. But it's like, you don't know how much my stage costs. You don't know how much this costs. You don't know how much the artist costs. Bro, until you know somebody costs, you can never count their pockets.
Without a doubt,
if you don't know their bills, you can never count their pockets.
And that's something that I learned, is just like understanding, like, it's people don't understand. And again, because they don't understand the culture. Like, when you see me doing certain type of things, people may look at you and say, why this bag $100? You don't understand these fabrics. You don't understand what goes into this. Yeah. And understand that the fact that this ain't nothing new. Like, you can go anywhere else and you probably gonna even be paying more than this. And it's the thing of, because people don't understand what goes into it. And with that festival, they didn't understand Young Thug costed $50,000. They didn't understand that stage costed 20 bands. They didn't understand Uzi was 20,000. Like, all of these different things stack up. And even though putting all of that passion into that festival, seeing the outcome, and it was not financially successful the way that I wanted it to be financially successful, bro, I was still able to walk away and still be very happy because I tell everybody, I was able to try something that I really, 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 really want to do. And if it didn't go the way that I wanted it to go, I'm okay with that. I can always live with trying it and seeing that it wasn't successful, but I can live to tell the story. It's stories from that.
It's like
night
going to the casino
forever.
and breaking even, where it's like I might have lost, 2 bands, but I got it back. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool. And I had a good time. You know what I'm saying?
Like
But
I had the time of my life trying, just seeing what it's all about. And I think that's an element of life that people miss out on because we allow fear or we allow the doubt of like, is this gonna work or is this not gonna work? What's gonna happen? To just take us over so much where we don't quit our corporate job and just work whatever.
I got benefits, I got this. I mean,
Bro.
even still one of my grandmas today. Every time I see her, every time I go back to DC. You doing all right? It's like, I'm doing way better than I was doing before. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, I try to let people know that all the time. You ain't got to worry about me.
I'm cool.
There's some things I got to figure out
I
when
had
it
to
comes
tell
to
her
all
last
them
time, like, I ever asked you for something?
like,
I ain't even try to be disrespectful, Granny, but I ain't ask you for nothing.
Right,
I'm all right.
It's like, it's
You
good.
all right?
Right. I give you a little
You
something.
need something? Like, I'm cool.
Get you the plug on a few
Right.
things. So, and I think that's something that people gotta understand because it puts them in the position to always think that because that individuals though might not have that corporate backing and the benefits that come with it, that it's a tough life until you get to a certain point. Of course, once you get to a certain point, then people are able to look at you and be like, cool. Of course, I know individuals may have seen Mountain Dew and or see the Toyota and like, oh yeah, he going crazy. But it's like,
But they don't see the DMs that don't get responded to. They don't see the emails that don't get responded to. They don't see me paying my assistant. They don't see me paying photographers, videographers. They don't see me. You know what I'm saying? It's all of those
so
things.
much with it.
But that's what we got in us to where it's like, but that's why the wheel's gonna keep turning. That's why it's gonna work because I could make a whole lot of money this year if I don't count nobody in.
Exactly.
But
bro.
I'd rather make less money this year, count people in, and
live
make more money
stress-free.
next year.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to be the master. Like we talk about, I don't want to be the master of all trades. Like I'm cool.
Yeah,
like I know how to work the camera. I know how to shoot videos. I know how to I know how to edit video. I know how to do a whole lot of stuff. But at the end of the day, the thing that make me satisfied is coming up with ideas, visually seeing them happen, and seeing clients or seeing whoever I work with happy.
No, definitely.
So whatever I need to do to get there, I'd rather do that than me trying to do everything. Because at that point, I'm exhausted.
No,
I'm exhausted if I got to take every picture, if I got to make every video and edit every video. Like, that's just not for me.
Yeah.
So if a client could pay me $5,000 and I make $1,000 out of it, and I ain't
cool.
tripping, I'm cool. And I empower some of my people. I done put people on. I done paid some people and put money in people's pocket. That make me way more satisfied than being like, I'm up 5 bands today. Like, I'm cool.
But I'm exhausted. I ain't got no time.
Yeah.
It's like, and it's not even so much of just, oh, I could do all this and I can make all this happen. It's the fact of putting other people in a situation that you know for a fact that can make it happen and maybe even make it happen better than you.
They gonna make it happen better than me. One, and then two, the thing that people don't understand is when you go for them quick bags where it's like, all right, cool, I could have made $5,000 with this one client just this month. Now, how you gonna grow? How you gonna leverage anything? Because now how you gonna bring somebody in? So yeah, you made five bands this month, but now you don't make another 5 bands for 3 months.
And that's the thing.
It's like, no, I'd rather make $1,000 every week. You know what I'm saying?
No.
However we got to break it down, I'd rather it be consistent opposed to every blue moon.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want this to feel like, all right, boom, all right, I feel lucky, I got it. No, I want it to be like, this is my track record, I got a team, this is how you could trust me, this is why you'll trust me, and we're going to keep this shit rolling.
No, without a doubt. And that's important because the more that you're doing things, the more these other brands is going to be coming in. Bro, I literally, when we got to a point, we started off, when we first launched the business, we had 2 clients. 2 clients that, that we were able to sign contracts with. We had a lot of people that we were doing like some one-off stuff for that was like, hey, can you make this video? Or, hey, can you do this? I'm like, cool. But we had 2 clients that we was able to sign a contract with. Bro, by the time we got to like fall, we had all of these clients that was just hitting us up. So now we went from 2 that instantly jumped to like 6. And then that's when it instantly hit me like, I got to get some help. Because before, even though I can probably handle 6 clients on my own right now, I know it is getting ready to go. So I got to put myself in the position to say, hey, I need to bring this person in. I need to bring this person in. We got to make this happen.
It's a corporation.
And really create this thing. So now that we're in, I think after these last 14 clients in now, thanks bro. We in the position now where now I got these other people that's working. And even though, and I tell my wife, Ayana, all the time, like the money that's coming into our house, it may be low, even though people will look and be like, oh, you should bring in 10, 15,000. No, because I got to pay this person, that person. I got to do this. I got to do that. And I'm okay with that right now because it's going to make it so easier. So when we do blow up and now it's 30 clients that's under our belt, I got people that's been with me that understand the systems and everything is happening smooth.
And you can sleep at night.
And I can have conversations like this, bro, while they working. And I was like, and these because people don't understand this type of stuff is the stuff that is very important as well. But if you're so busy and you can't make content for your company, if you can't do nothing, you can't, put your company in a position to continue to advance because you're so busy doing the groundwork. Who out here being a visionary? Who out here making it happen because you so stuck on the ground because you don't want to spread the wealth to put people on the ground while you up doing the visionary stuff. And I think that's so key for people to really understand that. But I know we running a little on time, but I want to ask a few questions that I definitely had. One of those questions being, how much longer? Me personally, I don't think this is a last stop. Indianapolis is boom, boom, bam. So how long you think you got in Indianapolis until you spread your wings to another city, couple of cities, whatever it may be?
I mean, honestly, the goal was this year was going to be it, like in regards to, keeping my foundation here, but then spreading my wings because All-Star was supposed to be here. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So with All-Star not being here, it kind of changed like my mindset, my trajectory. But
I will say, I was waiting. I said, Mike's finna go crazy.
It was gonna be. But with everything I'm doing now, and then with partnerships and relationships I've been able to build, even during the pandemic, I'll say that Indianapolis will always be home.
Oh, without a doubt. For sure. The roots is too deep.
It's the crib and then it's not, but this home because everything I've been able to do. But I'll say the All-Star be here in 4 years, and after 4 years, I'll at least have another apartment or a condo or something in another city to where it's like that's how I'm a frequent different things.
Without a doubt.
So I would say 4 to 5 years before it's really like, I'm really on the go.
I'm with that.
Catch me when I'm in the city.
Literally. And I think that's key because I think when, businesses and companies and brands and individuals like yourself as an influencer, grow those roots in an area, but not understanding. I mean, of course, I can see it from an outside looking in. I look up and I'm like, dog, I see, NBA players in the clothing now. And I see man, I can go other places. And one of the proudest moments I had, I was out at a concert.
Yeah.
And actually one of my homies, Hoop Dreams, literally I was talking and I forgot, I had on I think it was Divided States of America hat. Mm-hmm. And he was like, oh, you rock with Mike G. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, that's hard. How you know that? And like just to see that, that's when I always know that those are the indications that, oh yeah, a brand is spreading, a brand is getting ready to go into other places, because once those conversations are already being had in those other places, it makes it easier. You know, me at this point, of course, most of our clients right now is in Northwest Indiana, but now we got, you know, 2 companies here in Indianapolis, you know, and it's going to be sooner or later, hopefully, that we get some more companies out here in Indianapolis that we could be able to partner in and make it happen. And I'm hoping that one day it's another company that pop up in Dallas or LA or Atlanta or wherever it may be.
I mean, because that's what you want. I mean, but even at that, like, that's a testament just to really show, like, I mean, Chicago, the 3rd biggest city in America,
without a doubt,
crazy, but even at that, it's like, that's just me being in the right place at the right time. Just happened to see Hoop Dreams, introduce myself to him, talking to him, and now we done known each other over 10 years now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But we don't look at it like that because we feel like we still young. No. It's some young people that's coming after us that's like, y'all ain't that young no more. You know what I'm saying? Y'all a little bit older.
No,
but
for real.
That's something like that, and then it's just the grind, you know what I'm saying, and believing in whatever you doing or believing in whatever you selling. But at that time, when I met him, I remember the exact day, because in high school, me and my guys used to always go to Milwaukee Avenue in Wicker Park and shop. But we met him at Harold's. We was waiting on our food. We was at Harold's on Milwaukee. And then I had a blog at the time, bostonyoung.com. .org. And when I was doing the blog, shit, they was fresh. And I was like, you know what? Y'all fresh. I want to put y'all on my blog. You know what I'm saying? And then he like, okay, bet. Just, you know, send me the info. Yeah. But then I snapped a couple pics, boom, 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 put them on the thing. And then we kind of been locked in, following each other on social media ever since. But he was leaving there, going to a studio, and then seeing what he did, you know, going. Bro. Like after that point, it was like he elevated. But at that same token, it's like building those true, genuine relationships is why, if Instagram get deleted tomorrow, I ain't gonna cry. I'm gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. They take the likes away.
I really know people. You know what I'm saying? I really done built relationships to where it was never that aha moment or nothing that got me to where I'm at now. It's truly knowing people, because they turn off the internet today, I'm gonna still go somewhere and somebody gonna be like, that's Mike G tomorrow.
No, yeah, because it's about having those resources. It's so important, you know, even for individuals that go to college. I always tell people, you can go and you can get, you know, that diploma, you can get that degree, but if you ain't go there and meet as many people as you possibly can,
and you ain't a nurse or a doctor or an engineer, you fail.
You fail. Like
that's the goal.
It was an L. Those 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, whatever it was an L. If you didn't meet as many people, and you know, a friend of both of ours, I always 100%, and I tell people all the time, I respected Rod the most because of that.
Yeah,
Rod,
I was his roommate, so you know, I know where he was at every night. You know what I'm saying? So whether he was in Bloom, Lafayette, Terre Haute, Muncie, like I knew he was there or I was with him. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely respect that aspect, especially if you're going into business or anything like that, because that's what it's about. Like, that's what's going to get you to the next level.
Because you never know what that person that you're talking to at that moment
what they going to end up doing.
Like,
I mean, I talk to people every day where it's like, man, I knew you always wanted to do something, but I didn't know you was going to be doing this.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? I just had my wine come out. And I had a lot
crazy.
of people
Congrats,
who graduated
big time
with me
on
who
that.
Bought that. But I appreciate it.
Yeah,
but I mean, it's just,
and to see those different things, those come, and I'm pretty sure the wine situation came from just you meeting somebody and just making those roots and making that connection,
exactly.
and it just grows from there. And I think it's really key again, and even with the wine and with the brand partnerships. And I just want a lot of people to understand this as we come to an end of this. Like, it's so important about consistency and brand identity. I truly believe it's people, bro, that got way more followers, that got maybe way more clout, way more everything, and they ain't even came close to touching the opportunities.
Because they ain't got this, because what they want is like we talked about with like understanding what clients might want. They want clout. They want notoriety.
Yeah.
I don't care about that. You know what I'm saying?
No,
I understand that's what's gonna come with everything that I want, but I want financial freedom. I want my family to be all right, and I want to be able to show the next generation of people that look like me,
that I
black
did
people,
this doing what I want to do,
and minority kids to understand, like, no, you could do whatever you want. You just got to really put the work in.
Without a doubt.
It's so many people who really just want 50,000 likes, and it's like, I'm cool on that. If I get 20 likes and 20 people go to the restaurant, that's a win.
No,
it don't
without
matter
a
to
doubt.
me. I'm cool. I don't care if nobody don't like the picture. If people go to the restaurant, when the owner called me and hit me up and say thank you,
it's cracking.
I did
up
my
here.
job.
Yeah.
I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? But so many people want that for themselves, opposed to seeing out whatever campaign that it might be.
No, definitely.
They don't really see all those things through. They just want that notoriety. And I mean, the notoriety, cool. I mean, like I tell people all the time, it's the Lil Wayne quote where it's like, I tried to, what'd he say? I tried to some fame, but I can't even remember right now.
Oh, I know what line you're talking about. I can't think of it, but no, I know exactly what line that you're talking about. But I think it's
on that She Will.
Yeah, She Will, yeah.
I can't think of it right now.
But that's like, I think that's important for people to kind of understand, because we got into this thing with social media, which just, that can be a whole nother podcast in itself. But like, we've gotten to this thing with social media where we don't use it for what it's for. It's for you to network. It's for you to be able to do your thing. And as long as that goal is accomplished, it don't matter how many. It was the funny thing. I was talking to somebody the other day. I used to get really pissed off, bro, when I would go out and about and somebody would hit me with like, yo, bro, I love what you doing. Keep doing it, man. Like, man, I'm rocking with you hard. And I'd be like, bro, I know you and you don't like nothing. You don't comment on nothing. Like, that used to irritate me. But now that I have grown and matured in this,
the mindset is different.
Bro, I get happy. I'm like, cool. That means that you seeing it. That was my goal from the beginning of it. I just wanted the eyes to be able to, check it out or whatever. And if they's like, hey, I check this out, or I look at one of the biggest things, I ran into Lazio, which one of the greatest, best father of the year every year.
Father of the year. Call my boy Zoe, man.
And I ran into Zoe the other day, bro. And well, not the other day. This was probably like some months back. And he was just like, yo, bro, you inspire me. I'm trying to get, I'm getting into business, and I just like look at some things that you've been saying, and it kind of helps me do. And of course, I know Zoe not even a social media person. So of course, I'm not expecting Zoe to be able to be on there liking and commenting and all this other stuff. But it was that exact moment where I was finally able to trigger and say, it ain't even about the likes and stuff. Because my number one goal, the only reason why I'm on social media spitting knowledge is for you to just get it and run with it. And if you get it and run with it, that's all that matters. I don't care about the like. I don't care about the share. I don't care about, as long as you got what you needed from it. And it's the same with you. As long as you went to the restaurant, I don't care if you liked it. I don't care if you whatever. The goal was met. That's what I created the content for. And I want so many other people to understand that you're creating your content, or you're doing whatever you're doing for a sole purpose. And as long as that purpose is being met, don't care about none of that other fluff stuff. Like, because all it is
that goes back to like what you said about like something that people passionate about or whatever you're doing. Because now I can show you 50 DMs right now that ain't even open, because it's people literally talking about, how can I do what you doing, one, or how can restaurants pay me, or how can this happen, or how can that happen? And for a long time, I would respond and just say, just do it. Like Nike say, just do it. Yeah. Because once you do it and you keep it going, that's what's gonna do it. Keep that consistency. It's so many people who, that ain't the goal. That ain't what they passionate about. So in their mindset, all they really want is that clout. All they really want is that attention of, all right, cool, I can get a check for doing X, Y, Z. But it's like, if you just do what you passionate about, especially on social media, it's going to show. Because if you on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter or Snapchat or TikTok or whatever, and you a drug dealer for a week, you a drug dealer in people's mind. You know what I'm saying?
That's what,
If you an artist for a week and you paint canvases, you an artist. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So it's really about what you really want to do, what you set out to do, and the consistency and putting into it. Because whatever you want, the internet is going to understand you as that. Because one, it's the pandemic, but now two, everybody's so busy in their everyday life where it's like whatever I see, that's who you are. You know what I'm saying?
No,
so like you said, that was a great point on you for like personal branding to say, if I keep saying my name DJ Mal, it don't matter what I do, I'm gonna be a DJ first.
Forever, yeah. You know
what I'm saying? So you took that stance to say, I gotta break away from that, even though some people know me as that. They're gonna have to know me as this.
No, without a doubt.
And over a couple months, it's like, okay, cool. Because now the conversation when people see you is, you don't DJ no more?
No, exactly.
Exactly. But, you know what I'm saying? I seen you change your name, you don't DJ no more. Okay.
And now the conversation is more of what you want the conversation to be about.
It's like, no, I'm doing X, Y, and Z. And if you need X, Y, and Z,
come
let me know.
At me.
Right. Or if you know anybody who needs X,
I tell people all the time, you need a DJ, I get somebody for you. Don't worry.
It ain't going to be me. It won't be DJ Brown.
But no, man. So I really do, man. I thank you for this conversation. This was definitely lit. I want to say, man, it gives me incredible joy. And some of these individuals I definitely gonna hopefully one day be able to have conversations with. But like people like you, Rod, and even John out there in Dallas, like I really just been enjoying the opportunity to be able to sit back and see a lot of people that's in my class, a lot of people that's the same age as me, a lot of people that came up with me, utilizing their passion and just saying like, hey, this is what I'm doing. I'm doing me. I'm not trying to do all this other stuff, work this 9 to 5 that. So the generation before us was so pushing on that. Hey, you got to get this. You got to get this meal job if you want to win out here. You got to get this. But us being able to take that stance to say, and there's so many more, you know, I'm just was naming names, but it's so many more individuals that's out here doing their thing.
Yeah.
But I do take so much pride to see those, you know, you guys that's from, you know, my, you know, class, my era, my everything, being able to take it, because it's even motivation for me to be able to sit back and say, man, we doing it. Like, we doing it, because that's motivation for me when I'm having my down days, and I can go in there and say, well, Mike G still doing it, Ant still doing it, Rod still doing it, John still doing it, this person still doing it, that person, Nana still doing it, everybody's still eating, everybody's still going after it, so I got to keep that same energy. I can't allow one bad day to just throw off my whole thing. So I definitely want to give you mad respect. Man, I can't wait to see the more brand partnerships, the second wine, everything, the new move, just keep grinding. We in Indianapolis tonight. Real quick, give me some go-to places in Indy right now.
Go-to places. If you want some wings, I would say go to R&R Extreme Wings.
We went there today. It was fire.
It was fire. Garlic. If you want a nice little dinner for a good price, I would say hit up Livery. It's a great little spot.
And it's called Delivery?
It's called Livery.
Oh, Livery.
Livery, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So not the DE, but just Livery.
Yeah, Livery. I know, that's dope.
Another spot you can get some good drinks. Ball and Biscuit, the Eagle. You could hit up. You're trying to go out Friday, Saturday night after 6. They got the East Side, West Side Story popping right now. It's a lot of stuff going on in the city.
Oh, that's dope.
Like I say, where you can go out, have a good time, eat some good food, drink some. But again, this is where people can plug in with me, hit me up, and you know, whatever you might want, or if you got a date night, an anniversary, wedding, anything. Just let me know what you want, and I could plug you in the right place, put you in the right position. But yeah.
Without a doubt, man, this is the plug. Anything just culture related, just, you know, hit them up. I'm excited about this. But yeah, this is the Come Up. Mike G. Love you guys. Peace out.
Appreciate it.